Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Glistening medallion, silk shirt open to the navel. Something missing?
Complete the look.
Complete the look with a personalized chest wig at Vice City's one-stop shop for people who know what the ladies want. Wow, you look manly.
Complete the look.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift. This is episode 466, and I, of course, am your host, your funky leader, the greatest man who's ever lived. Oh, God, it's so good to be me. It's me. I'm Matt. And with me, as always, it's the Light Bear, the Light Bringer, the Light Bear, Bringer, the Beastmaster at Third Shift. It's Eric, and he's here to tell us how his week was. Hey, Eric, hey, how was your week this week?
Oh boy, I'll tell you what, the anime is so good, man. So many shows right now I'm watching on so many different channels, and it's kind of frustrating actually because I can't remember what ones are on what. So every time I'm like, all right, it's an anime night, I'm not playing games, let's go see what's up. I got to go to Crunchyroll, Prime, Netflix, and scroll through there. And if you don't know, Crunchyroll is pretty good because you just go to the history, it'll show you everything, and then on your watch list, it gives you only wherever you were and what's new. So it's pretty easy from there, but a couple of the other ones, not so much. It'll be like a new episode, but it won't show up in your watch list. It'll just be up in the what's new thing. And then sometimes it'll say what's new, even though you did watch it already. So then I'm like, oh, a new episode. Wow, oh, sweet. And then I go click it. But no, it's the episode I watched last night. And I know it's, of course, only weekly, but you still, in your brain, just go, oh, man, new episode. What happened? Okay. Click. Oh, no, it's just yesterday's episode. You already watched it last night. And then you click off. But that's a good problem to have. There's some seasons where I'm only watching like 2 shows I care about, and the rest I'm just watching because it's something to watch. This season, though, feeling good. Dan's amazing. All the others, it won't go into detail, but just a bunch of them. Fantastic shows. Really loving it. There's one in particular, though. It's Tugon, something, blah, 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 Netflix. And this show is really damn good. So if you want to go watch a really cool anime, go over onto Netflix. Look up, it's like TOUGEN, something. That's a good damn show. Having a lot of fun with it. And of course, this weekend, we also did some Dungeons and Dragons. We went over to my old pal's house, James, and we did a nice morning session. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. Came over, ate a donut. We played some D&D. We did some things. Hours were spent. Drinks were had, as in pops and coffees, etc. And then off I went on to my day. It was beautiful. It's my favorite thing to do. I love the morning sessions. I enjoy those a whole bunch. It feels like, boom, here we are having a good time with buddies, and nothing's being sacrificed whatsoever because it's the morning. And what was I going to do in the morning anyway? Clean. That was pretty much about it. So for me, A++. We killed a whole bunch of monsters this time around, so that was a good time just doing battles. But the only downside was we were in a lair this time. And so we're doing battle after battle after battle after battle after battle after battle. And we had just come from a previous session of battles. So all of us were mildly irked, I think. Just that a lot of our abilities and things were just gone. And I'm just over here like delving through all my stupid old notes, trying to find anything that might be useful. So that part was a little meh, but overall, a good time.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good time. I do enjoy the morning sessions. I enjoy the night sessions too. Just 2 different vibes. Get up, grab a coffee, go to your buddy's house, hang out for a little bit, go about your day. That's cool. But also go out, grab some beers, go to your buddy's house, drink some beers, and play games, and go ha 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 ha, and be stupid. That's also a lot of fun. But just like you said, I wasn't really irritated, but I got a little irritated that, my stuff takes a short rest. So I'm the guy who was always up, but we just couldn't get one. And I had spent everything the session before because he doesn't usually have like 3 parts. It's usually 2 battles, and then, you're done. Or go, now you're going to go over there, whatever. But it was 3 plus the mechanics of the lair. But he or we did a good enough job with, I had enough health potions. I'm a level 5, so it wasn't that bad anyway. I was rolling pretty decent. So it wasn't terrible, but I looked at my stuff when he unveiled the second encounter, and I went, I'm going to die. I'm going to die today. I don't have this. I can't mitigate that. I can't double up and then get advantage. But no, it was fine. It was good. Just a good chill morning. It was good.
Yeah, and I'll say on the last note is I have to stop and sit down and go through my notes because when I was scrambling through them the other day, I've got all sorts of junk. And I know you guys do too, because I wrote down notes of just stuff in general we've been picking up. And I haven't heard you or Kevin mention a single mum about half the shit we have. We've got potions, we've got scrolls, we've got all sorts of random shit. And nobody mentions it ever or uses any of it. And I'm like, we got to really get this stuff out so we can utilize it. And even if isn't necessary, just for the fun sake of it, use some of the weird stuff we've got. So that's what I'm going to do for myself anyway, at least. Get all that out and make sure I have it all at hand easily.
Well, I know I have everything because I have my cheat sheets. I put it all on there. You saw me a couple times flip my thing over, and like when we went into that last encounter, I'm like, what can I do here? I can't really scare anything. I've got potions, but acid resistance, jump, and water breathing. I gave you all the scrolls because you're the magic man, and mine I would get no bonuses doing them anyway. So it's you two. I know what my stuff is. My stuff hits harder, and I throw daggers. I pulled out those daggers and I killed that dragon. You know that's right.
Well, and I know one of us has a magic crossbow.
He's got the crossbow,
and I haven't seen that touched yet. And I'm like, oh wait, like maybe there's probably been an occasion to use a magic crossbow. I mean, I don't remember what it did per se, but just stuff like that. And so
we'll have to ask him because I thought I took it, but maybe his dex is one higher, so I gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I know we discussed it. I think he took that, and I took something else. I don't remember.
Yeah, and I know I gave him a couple other things too. So he's got a couple magical items that I haven't seen him whip out at all yet. And maybe they're just not applicable like your stuff is, but
yeah.
I just want to make sure we know about it because I'm guilty of it too. That's what I just said. The stuff gets behind me in the notes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I had 3 scrolls of arcane missile. I haven't used it all when we were sitting in that dumb room many times ago now because we just needed more time with the fountains. So I spent my nights making arcane missile scrolls, and then I forgot I even had them. So there you go. I'm gonna do that. I'm on top of it. Besides that, we played a couple video games, folks. Yes, if you didn't believe us, we did. Played some Unicorn Overlord. I won't talk too much more about it. Still just rocking and rolling. I'm in the 3rd area now. Deep into the 3rd area. The beasts and me, we're doing the thing. We're conquering lands. I've got 1 million players on my side right now. And I just did the thing. Matt, I just did the thing. I went to that arena and I beat it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, she's on my team. I got her. She's there. She went straight to the lane squad. I just booted out somebody that's been in there since day one. Bernadette, sorry, you gotta go. My old lady, she's coming in. And of course, when I did that, what else do you think happened, Matt? Oh, look, now you're strong enough to go kill the dude and get the strongest sword in the game for Elaine. So went ahead and did that. Popped me. Now Elaine's got the strongest sword you can get in the game. And it just kind of starts tumbling from there. All of a sudden, I can open up these walls, the memento walls or whatever, and then you got to fight an enemy when those are open. I'm starting to be able to beat all of them, no problem. Now I'm getting all these legendary weapons. There's 8 of them, I think, in total. So all these legendary weapons are now popping into my inventory to, throw at everybody as I see fit. So we're just on that ball. That ball's just going, and I'm getting better and better and better and better stuff. And I'm moving along and having a fun time with it. And of course, I did the Battlefield 6 beta. The second beta, the last beta, unless they do another one, which I suspect they'll do one more. But I had a lot of fun with it. Played with brother-in-law and sister once again. And we went on to a brand new map, the Empire State, which is based here in United States. Basically off looking like Jersey City or something like that. And gotta say, visually, the map was gorgeous. Looked awesome. It was great to be like in USA and stuff and seeing the city you're familiar with. However, the map itself was not really a fan of. It was too easy to close off all the lanes, and the points I thought were just too chaotic. Charlie was in the middle of a road. Bravo was in this building that had access from every single angle inside. Just not a lot of good points to actually defend and keep defended. It was more about just taking control over it with overwhelming force and then moving on to the next one and just doing it over and over. And so it came down to which team could do it faster is the team that won.
So it's the capture strategy that we hate doing.
Yes.
Just go, just go. Oh, we lost another one. We'll just Keep going,
Doesn't
keep
matter.
going, keep going. Just do a
Go
big
to Alpha,
circle.
go to Bravo,
do
go
a
to
big
Charlie,
circle.
go to Delta.
We'll
Yep.
get it overall anyway. Yeah.
And that's what you start doing. And then you just have to go, like I said, you have to be faster. You hold the points for just a little bit longer and lose a little bit less forces, and then you
Wow.
win. And then on top of it, I told you, the lanes are super protective. You can get a couple good snipers in there, and then they got you from almost every angle. So if the other team does a couple snipers and has players that aren't idiots, now they're circling, doing the thing, while these guys are just pop shotting you. It was a frustrating map, but visually really cool. Not my favorite one at all, but it was a good weekend overall in Battlefield 6 Beta. It definitely sold me. I'll be buying it. There's no question about it at this point. And then last but not least, I tried the Hell Is Us demo. And I talked to Matt quite a bit about it. I was going to just talk to him about the show. But overall, pretty cool. It doesn't explain really well what the hell's going on, but I think that's on purpose. And as we told you, this is that one where the HUD is like extremely minimal. There's almost nothing there. And then you pull up this old like vault deck type thing to get your inventory and loadout and everything else and map and a compass all pulled up. But it's a AA game for sure, visually. I didn't expect it. I don't know why, but it seemed like when we saw the the trailers, it looked pretty sharp. But when I played it, it looks like a AA game. It's not bad at all. It just, you can tell that visually you're not it's not a God of War or something like that. And then beyond that, I didn't care about that much. Graphics aren't it, but in the gameplay, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying trying to unveil the story by just naturally talking to people and interacting with stuff. That was a lot of fun. And then going and just seeing these weird, bizarre things. Like it's a world you think you know, but then you encounter these soldiers on one side and there's these like Magitech looking people and crap going on. And then you go into this dungeon that's this crazy alien architecture vault, but it's got humanoid stuff in it. So like the tech and how things have advanced is just way off charts of what is actually real in this world. So it's got a very down to earth but mystical look to it. In the combat, it was enjoyable, but I feel like the baddies are designed to have you going at high speeds, and that's just not the case. You're more of a clunky character, not moving around a lot, and then you have to parry, of course, dodge, the usual stuff. But they expect you to be doing it, or you're going to get just destroyed. And on top of it, as I told Matt, these characters that end up having these extensions on them, these things fly around at like really high rates of speed, and you have to lock onto them if you're going to do any damage to them. And unfortunately, they've got that delayed lock on going. So a lot of times by the time you hit the button and you're seeing this extension on the creature, it's already moved off camera into some other angle and it's attacking you. And then it's got like 5 or 6 of these crazy different attacks that it almost seems like it wants you to be able to jump, double jump even sometimes out of, and do quick barrel rolls out of. And you can do the dodge roll, but you ain't jumping anything. I don't know if that's something you get later. Don't know. But right now you can't jump. And I swear these things expect you to be able to do that. So instead you're just kind of tanking damage unless you did the parry perfectly. But I haven't mastered the parry, and I spent half the fight just getting the lock on this thing. So I don't know. I think part of it's me. I know I got to practice more and play more, but I think part of it's the game too. I'm like, it doesn't have that Souls-like feel, but it also doesn't have that Stellar Blade fast and frenetic feel, or Devil May Cry feel, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of in the middle, but it leans towards wanting you to have the more fast-paced feel to it so far. So I'm a little off on it. And then, of course, the last thing I'll say on this right now is that there's, puzzles in this game. You got to figure stuff out, and it doesn't help you. It doesn't tell you anything. They're just there. You got to read notes. You got to look at glyphs. Those sorts of stuff. Fine. No biggie. Cool beans. The problem I had was in the very first dungeon, there's a door, and you need these 2 things to get to it. Well, cool. So I'm looking around, searching all over the dungeon. I ended up finding one. All right, popped it in. Got to the end of this dungeon, and I went, what the heck? I didn't find the other thing that was needed for this door. So I go back and search this dungeon over again. Front to back. Nothing. Okay, I'm not going to spend 100 years on this. I leave the dungeon. Now it's all these little cool trenches, like World War II and World War I trenches and stuff. You're going through these, you're fighting monsters, you're going on. None of these trenches have anything in it pertaining to that puzzle. All right, we're out of here. Let's go. I go down the road. down the road, all the trenches were way past the dungeon, and all of a sudden I find the piece I need for that damn dungeon. So now I trek all the way back, go all the way in the dungeon, go to the thing, open the door, get a cool little gizmo gadget to put on my body, my person, and off I go. I told Matt, and I'll tell y'all, if that is like a lot of the game where they give you pieces and parts, and then you got to go to whole different areas or whole different sections to get other parts and come back, I won't be able to play this game because I'm not going to write all this down. And even if I did, I'm a dummy. I'd forget what I'm even talking about half the time when I write these notes. And I wouldn't get anything in this game, and I'd be, hardcore in it pretty much the whole way through. So I'm hoping that this is a rare instance where this stuff's just a little too far and, it was early on or whatever. I don't know, but I'm hoping that this game sharpens up a little bit because I really want to play it. It does have a lot of cool stuff in it, and other podcasters that I heard this week were really talking high praises on it, and I enjoyed it, but I just wasn't quite there with it. And I told Matt I was kind of happy because it just meant I didn't have to buy it. But now that others are like, no, I really loved it, and really went on and on about it, I'm like, am I just missing something? So I was thinking about going back, and because I had a little ways to go before I finished it, and at least finishing it up and seeing where I stand from there. But yeah, that's what I did, man.
As for me, this past weekend, we did D&D. We talked about that already. I put this before the video games, even though one of the video game things happened before it. But I'll just say, hey, New Japan's G1 finished up over this past weekend-ish. I think the finals were like Saturday morning for us American humans. I watched all of it, and I think I had mentioned before, it was hard for me to get into it. But then, like, right around the middle, I was jonesing. I was just like, yeah, I'm watching the G1. I'm watching some hard-hitting stuff, some traditional strong-style, freaking New Japan pro wrestling action. And then by the end of it, I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what it was, because some of my favorites are still there. Like Zack Sabre Jr. is there. Konosuke Takeshita is in it again from AEW, and he's amazing, and he was the one who won it. So, like, I should be super excited, because he's one of my favorites, and his second or third time in it, he wins it, so now he's going on to the main event. So I should be super excited, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like had a little high up and then kind of just back down into And I think part of it is they have older wrestlers who I really like. Like Taichi was in it, but he's one of the wrestlers he's not going to win it. But he has that wrestling style that I appreciate. And then there's a bunch of younger guys who aren't, I'm not saying they're bad wrestlers or anything, but I just can't connect with them. There's something I just. And then that was like half of the roster was these younger guys. I'm like, I don't know. It was weird. But what was awesome in the final match there, Konosuke Takeshita, newer guy for New Japan, kind of an outsider. He'd worked in other promotions. And then the guy he went up against, a dude named Evil, who is the head of this big giant stable, which if you think of like, I shouldn't say it this way, but the worst wrestling from the 90s where there's just run-ins and ref bumps and interference and all that other shit, that's all they do. So everybody hates these guys. They'll cheer for them when they're wrestling, but then as soon as stuff comes out, even the Japanese fans just, boo, get out of here, blah, blah, blah. But in that final, that stuff was there, but then the good guys kicked them out. And for the last like 15 minutes, it was just a traditional New Japan match. And hearing the crowd get split, Evil, the worst guy, most horrible dude in the company, you should not ever want him to win, especially win the G1. He's in a submission hold, and the crowd are just chanting for him. You can hear him building. And I was like, this is cool. I've seen kind of the same thing with Taichi, who I've talked about just a few minutes ago. He was in a group that they were bad guys, but people liked him anyway. But this dude, anytime he got in the ring, they would chant for him to leave, like, Taichi, go home. But now everybody loves him. So I'm like, is Evil going to turn that corner? Is he going to have to get out of his crappy group because people are going to start liking him now because of this? So that was cool. Now I've just talked myself back into it. It's like, yeah, G1 was pretty great. I got cool stuff that I like to see. I don't know. It was an upsy downsy one. I kept my record just like I have the records of all the other ones. So that was fun. But the video game thing that I wanted to talk about, I'll still save that for another second because I got in a stream of Death Stranding 2 over the weekend. And it was good. I love Death Stranding 2. The stream was fine. It was short, though, and nobody needs to know this, but my computer chair that I sit in, that I stream in, that I sit everything in, if it's in a certain spot and a certain chair configuration on my slopey, weird, derpity-doo floor, it'll get to a spot where it just goes, and like drops me down like half a centimeter. Then it goes, boom. And if I shimmy, it'll start sinking more. So I might just need a new chair. I really need a new floor. I need a better place to sit this. But I was irritated by that. nonstop during the stream, so I couldn't enjoy it as much as I normally would. But I did get to see Higgs and the Red Samurai for the very first time. God, you can see it on my face. My mouth is dropped open. I'm going, what the flip is happening? So good. Can't wait to play more of that. But the video game thing that I will talk about now, I teased it Friday night last week. I stayed up way too late because I was in not the true ending, but the best ending arc of 100 Line Last Defense Academy. And I was going through it, and I told Eric something that I shouldn't have said, but I won't say it here. It was doing all of my favorite things that these games do. And God, I was just eating it up with a spoon. I was just wolfing it down. And then it started splintering off into other choices because I had, 4 or 5 endings left. And I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. It was like 12:30 at night. And I went, oh, baby, I've gotten 99 endings right now. And I've seen the best ending, which was locked away behind a lot of stuff. I've seen it, and I have one ending left to go. All right, go back to the branch, pick the other thing. And then like 2 days passed, and then like 3 days passed. And I went, I can't. I'm too old. It's too much. I can't. Put it down, go to bed, wake up way too early because I think my body was just like, you need to get 100 Line done before you go to D&D. I did it. I saw a bad ending. That route had a very bad ending. But it gave me the opportunity to go back and watch the true ending, which has something special at the end of it. There's a different thing you see. So I saw that. Then I went back and watched the best ending, which is still really cool because I say true and best endings just because that's how I think of them in my head. Because the true ending, you see something different at the end, and I go, okay, that's probably the true ending. But the best ending, it tells you even more stuff. There's even more secrets. And maybe this isn't real, but the interactions you have with a different character are completely different than anything else in the rest of the game. So you're like, okay, that's happening. So this is real because I know it's happening and you are telling me that this thing is going on. And then you get to the end and it's just the best flippin' ending. And it makes everything that you went through in a couple of those storylines that I did not like. There's a couple that I just didn't enjoy. But one of them you have to go through in order to do the thing that makes this ending the best ending. And it's just, God, it's just so good. And it was so great. It put the biggest smile on my face. So that's how I ended it. I got this one bad ending to complete my 100. I watched the true ending again. Then I watched the best ending. And I went away with my heart full. Just, God, what an amazing game. Awesome, fantastic. 205 hours in, 205 plus, whatever, my Switch says over 205. All of them worth it. I can say that right now. Just, God, what an amazing game. Incredible. So after that, what the hell am I supposed to do after that? What am I supposed to do after playing the best game ever made? Well, I sat here and I thought, well, you could play some Expedition 33, get involved in a big, emotional, long story. And I went, I know I should do that, but I need something I can do in smaller bites or something. Well, how about Alan Wake 2? It's too scary. I can't do it. I'm never going to play that. It's going to be a bit forever. Never going to do it.
Gotcha, man. They gotcha.
But what I actually really did think was, well, if I put that into Friday Night Frights closer to October, it'd be a gimmick, and I could do it that way. I was like, what else? I don't know. Should I download this? Should I download that? I was looking at my resolutions list. I was convinced driving home the day before I made this decision of what to actually play. I was like, all right, I'm downloading Cyberpunk again. We're doing that. We're doing Phantom Liberty. That's it. Okay. Then I sat here in my chair and I reached over and I grabbed my PS5 DualSense Edge and I started playing Stellar Blade instead. And that's just been a lot of fun. I loved the demo back in the day. You played through it, really enjoyed it. So I started playing it and it went, hey, do you want to carry over your progress from the demo? And I went, I don't even remember how to play this game at all. So I started all over again, fresh and new. And I was worried because I saw the little screen come up that says, you want to play on story mode? You want to play on normal mode? Or you want to play on kick your balls in mode? And I went, I'm not going to play hard mode. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a masochist. And I went, I just play story mode. Who cares? But something inside me wouldn't let me do it. And I was just like, all right, normal mode. I know where the first boss is because that's in the demo. And I said, well, if it kicks my ass, who cares? I'll just restart, play it on story mode. So I put it on normal mode, got to that first boss, and I went, okay, here we go. Beat him first try. Okay, cool. Got to the second boss type creature, beat him in 2 tries. Got to the third, which is like the one with the pod and everything. Beat him in 3 tries. So I know, well, I hope there's only 4 bosses in this game, because one guy took me 1 life, second guy took me 2, third guy took me 3. I think I've beaten everything else on the second try so far, and I haven't fought anything huge. Like there's a character who lets you into a place. Beat that character on the second try. The last boss type thing I did, I think it was second try. So I'm feeling good. Plus, like I told Eric off air, I'm doing every side quest. I'm killing like everything. I got to the Wasteland, which is like the first big open area. And there's some side quests in there and a story quest you got to do. But I wasted like 45 minutes just running around exploring in there, finding little puzzles and things you can open up. Then I'd go back to a camp. Oh, let me look at the skill tree. Oh, I got 6 SP. Oh, so before unlocking anything else, because I know there's stuff that's blocked, obviously, I'm almost maxed out right now. And I haven't even gone to the next actual area. But I'm feeling good. It's feeling fun. Oh, I should say that right before I finish, because I know I'm going long. Eric went long. But I was starting to play it in Korean, because I always play everything in the original language, if possible. And man, Eve was pretty good. She was fine. But that dude, Adam, he was just... Bo, 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 bo. That was how he talked. Bo, 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 bo. Big smile on his face. Bo, 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 bo. Sad face. Bo, 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 bo. I asked Eric, what did you play that in? He said English. Switched to English. 10 times better. Some of the side characters are still just like, I don't know where they got these guys from. Dragged them out of a broom closet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the NPCs are trash.
Yeah. But the main characters are pretty good. So I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to play it. I've gotten a bunch of cool outfits. That's the last thing I'll say is getting cool outfits and then getting like saucy outfits. And I feel so weird looking at the saucy outfits in this game.
The gooner in you needs to be okay with everything. You got to be okay.
Well, that's the thing is...
Next week, I expect an update, and I'll give you my favorite outfit. All right?
Well, that's the weird thing is okay, I shouldn't say this, but I've played adult games. Like I'm not a prude, but I feel weirder about putting on a saucy outfit in this game than I do admitting that I play those games. So I've been doing like mostly the Angel Squad. I put on the secondary, the black outfit. There's the one that's even more covered up, but it's sleeker and looks really cool. I rocked that for a while. Now I've started getting more like normal clothes outfits, and I like those a lot. But I don't know. It's just something. I feel like a creep sometimes, but I'm unlocking a million things, so I'm gonna at least try stuff out every now and then. But I'm liking it. It's great. It looks great. It sounds really cool. I also downloaded the Nier Automata DLC with it too, so that's been cool. Finding extra things that I can turn into a meal to unlock the Nier stuff. That's been a ton of fun. It's been fun. It's been a good week. I've played a bunch of good video games, went from the most amazing game I've ever played to another really cool game that I'm having a lot of fun with. So that's been my week. It's been a good week.
Indeed, it has been a damn good week, and hopefully we can continue it. But let me tell you, this week there's a game out that everybody should probably check out. It's like 3 or 4 hours long. You'll have it beat. Obviously, you can play it through again and then keep all your stuff. But the game I'm talking about is Sword of the Sea for the PlayStation 5 and, of course, PC. You take the place, and if you didn't know, you should know. But if you didn't know, it's from Giant Squids, peeps who did Abzu and Journey. So it's got all them cool vibes. The artistry, everything's there. You can count on it. This one, you are a wraith or a sentinel or some kind of entity that awakens with 1 drop of aqua, liquid water. And you have this really cool, like, relic-looking sword that you use as a hoverboard, and you go on this fantastical, cool journey to restore balance to this world that you're in, and you're going to go through a bunch of environments to do so, and your whole objective here is to get the water back in the world, back in the lands that you're traversing through. So there's this desert, and you got to get to this creature that's going to then shoot the water into the desert and turn it into a aqua desert, and then you're going to go through, and you're going to have all sorts of beautiful dolphins and fish flying with you. You're going to jump onto sea turtles, and you're going to climb up into the air on those bad boys. You can do awesome, cool tricks on your little hover sword, and you can gain points for doing said tricks. I don't know if there's any purpose to getting the points, but there are points that you do get for doing these things. But there are also, in this game, it's not just a journey. It's got, typical game mechanics here. So there's going to be these 2 different currencies that are going to get you, points, and then you're going to be able to go to these merchants who magically appear in different, locales, and then they will allow you to do more tricks, cooler tricks, newer tricks that get you to different heights, different things, doing different stuff, which gets you into more nooks and crannies of these cool environments that you get to just explore with this orchestrated, beautiful music just happening in the background for you. And like I said, if you know Journey Abzu, everything looks just painter perfect, gorgeous, and allows you just to get immersed in this and this beautiful environments. And you're just hopping around doing double jumps, grinding on chains, going up into these mountainous environments. And as I said, you got a desert environment, you've got frosty mountains, you've got lush jungle areas, you've got all the typical stuff you'd imagine are going to be in these beautiful games. And you get to go into every nook and cranny, finding these 2 different currencies. And of course, restoring balance, as I said, to the lands. It is, as I already told you, a shorter game, 3-4 hours. But like I said, going in, you can then play again with keeping all of your newer abilities. And of course, knowing where the path leads you. So you can go on a more nuanced, more streamlined version of said adventure again if you'd like to. Because some of the reviewers did state that the only downfall is, unlike Journey, since there are the 2 currencies and not like always open, like, hey, this is exactly where you need to go, you will sometimes hit walls or get stuck or have to jump around a little bit and mess around, which breaks up the flow of the game. But in another respect, adds a little bit to it because now you're looking for these cool little things to upgrade your character and get new abilities and be able to access different areas that you couldn't when you didn't have stuff. So all in all, looks gorgeous, looks fantastic. If you're looking for a really cool quick hit, this is perfect. This is going to do it. I did not check the price. I was going to do that and I did not, so I didn't do my due diligence. But I will tell you, hopefully it's not a $70 game since it's only a 3-hour game. I doubt it is. Matt's got 3-0 on there, so $30 get you 4 hours of solid, gorgeous entertainment. I'm actually interested. I wasn't interested before I looked it up, but now I actually am. So we'll see. We'll see if I can squeeze it in this year, Matt, somewhere.
I'm so mad that you took this because all of the video game magazines that I've been reading lately, PC Gamer, Game Informer, Edge, they're all talking about it, saying it's so cool and all the things that you just said. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an easy week for me. Sword of the Sea, baby. Open up the show notes. Eric's got it.
If you'd have just texted me, I'd have let you have it.
I wouldn't have been able to say anything that you already didn't, but I was looking forward to watching some reviews and seeing it in action because the big screenshots, even in a magazine, I'm just drooling. It's like, golly, that looks awesome. But I found another game that looks totally awesome that is also only $30, and that's The Rogue Prince of Persia, which launches officially yesterday as we're recording this on the 20th, developed by Evil Empire, published by Ubisoft for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. And I know what you're saying, because you paused the podcast, you ran over to YouTube, and you went, wait, why are there Rogue Prince of Persia reviews from like a year ago? That's because that's when it went into early access, and now it's actually out. So you'll also see, because you went and looked for reviews of it, there's like none right now. I saw it came out, and I went, sweet, I can't wait to look up a review. And I scrolled, and I scrolled, and I scrolled, and I found one today from like 32 minutes ago, posted today, and went, sweet. And I clicked on it. It's a review from a channel called Shock 2. And I sat down at my lunch table, and I rubbed my hands together, and I went, I can't wait to hear all about The Rogue Prince of Persia. And what came through my headphones was an AI voice saying, hello, welcome to Shock 2. This is a podcast. I am Steve, and that is Bart. Hey, Bart. Cool, sounds good. Everything was wrong. And I went, what's happening right now? What is going on? And I looked at my YouTube on my phone, and it said auto-dubbed. And I went, I don't want to hear an AI voice poorly tell me things. What is this? Oh, it's 2 German guys who played it at Gamescom because they're there and doing it and having fun and talking all about it for like 18 minutes. This video is. That's my kind of review. I can't listen to it. I can't make out a word they're saying. The only other video I could find was from a channel called Xbox On, which is some host guy on stage talking to the marketing guy and a developer of this game. So I don't know if this game is awesome. I don't know if the people say this game sucks, but all I can say is go watch that Xbox On video. It's 12 minutes, 31 seconds. There's a lot of interview in there, but man, you get to see this game in action, and it looks so flippin' cool. The cartoonish, very unique art style that the prince is going through, and the way that he interacts with the world is so cool. Because you think of Prince of Persia, you're doing some jumps, you're doing some flips, you're fighting some guys. Yeah, but take that to like a really cool and awesome 2D style, cartoony style level. And that's what this game is. What I think is so cool about it is most of the scenarios you see, it's 2D, it's, side on. So you see these buildings in the background. But what you can do is you can interact with those in the same kind of wall run way that you can in the 3D games. So like if you press up and hit the vault button or the jump button or whatever, he'll start wall running like straight up the background. And then you can kick off the wall in these different directions and, grab a pole and swing around it and jump up. So it has like a 3D feel almost. You're not going into the background like Fatal Fury style, but you're interacting with it in a way that you almost never see. Because when you're doing normal 2D platforming, you're just going left and right. You're not like going up on the background. It's so cool looking. I can't explain it very well, but definitely watch that video, especially because there's a segment in there. You see some platforming, you see combat, you see the flashy moves and stuff. But there's a segment in that video where you see like the prince is talking to a kid or a small character, and you see this weird snaky looking like black energy come and grab her, and then it starts pulling her through the level. And the prince is platforming fast as flip all the way through this level to try and catch up with this energy tentacle as it's dragging this kid away. And it's so fast and so fluid. You can see some really high level gameplay in that video. And I was instantly sold. Like I didn't know much about this other than the one thing I was able to find out is that this is also kind of a roguelite somehow, but I couldn't figure out how because there's no modern reviews of it. And I'm not going to watch a review from a year ago where one of the titles was plays fun, but there's not enough to do. Well, it's been a year. I think there's a bunch more to do in it. So it is a roguelite of some description, probably because, you're the prince. When you die, time rewinds because it's Prince of Persia. That's what happens. But man, seeing that character platforming around fast and fluid and really cool with these really awesome animations and this really cool graphical style, go check out some videos on this game. It looks like a lot of fun. I don't know what the consensus is on it. Like I said, a couple of the early access things said we want more to do, and I know they've put in more to do. So I don't know. Go check out. Maybe there's reviews popping now. I don't know. I literally pulled an Eric and checked out right away, and there was nothing. There was no actual review out there. So go check out the Rogue Prince of Persia. If you like Prince of Persia games, this looks like a really cool, unique spin on those. Watching that man platform around, I'm sold. And it's only like $30, like I said. So go check it out. Go check out any other games. There's even more games coming up, though. Woohoo!
That's indeed the truth. We got a whole bunch of free games as per usual this week. And we'll start off with Amazon free games. You got Labyrinth City, Pierre the Maze Detective. A wonderful game, delightful. I recommend it for everybody. You're going to go into mazes, and you're going to be a detective and solve troubled crimes while in these mazes. Lots of fun stuff there. I'm going to say the Minotaur did it. Just saying. You've got Silverbox Classics. This, I have no idea what it is. I know there's a Silverbox Classic, I think of Dungeons and Dragons. Or not, yeah, D&D Dragonlance game. I don't know if that's it. Who knows? But you got Heroes of Loot 2 as well. This is a generic-looking Diablo-esque type game that you can check out if you just want to get into that. And then, of course, you've got Fantasy Empires. Once again, this one, I don't know what it is. I will just make something up and say that it's a one of them games Matt likes. What are the strategic games where you build empires, but instead of it being in actual realistic cities from the past and or future, it's in a fantasy environment, and you're going to build these empires in a fantasy world with elves and dwarves and other magical creatures. So yes, that's what you got over on Amazon.
And I was desperately doing the look. Labyrinth City looks like Where's Waldo. Silverbox, you were 100% right. It's a bunch of old school D&D type of games. I didn't look at the other ones because I've heard of Heroes of Loot 2. Anyway, going on to the Game Pass, we got Blacksmith Master, which is in game preview. We got Voidbreaker, which is in game preview, which okay, you might think I'm dumb. You can say I'm dumb if you want. I didn't know that game preview meant it's the early access. You can get in on the early access via Game Pass. I thought it was 2 hours, like an extended demo. But no, game preview is you can get into the early access build. So that's cool. For free, essentially, on the Game Pass, you can try out these early access games, because my major beef with those is paying money for an unfinished thing and not knowing if you like it. Well, now you can just check them out for free here. Anyway, you also got Persona 4 Golden, one of the best Persona games. Out of the 3 that are really awesome, this is one of them. Then also, surprise, surprise, you have the Rogue Prince of Persia. It's free on the Game Pass, launching day one into Game Pass. And I will even throw the bone also for PS Plus Extra. So if you have that, you can play the Rogue Prince of Persia also. But then also rounding it up in Game Pass, which must have just dropped today because it wasn't on there last night, is Herdling. That's that game where you got like the fuzzy yak type creatures, and I think they're scattered all around. It kind of looks like Pikmin almost, like you get a whole crew and then you're doing stuff. So all kinds of games on the Game Pass. 1 million games on the Game Pass. Go check it out.
Go get them games. And last but not least, over on Epic, you've got 2 games. You've got Kamaru. Don't have a clue what this one is. And you got Strange Horticulture. Well, we all know what horticulture means. So you can bet your Billy Butts that you're doing something with plants, etc. You're maybe growing them to build potions or do something with. Who knows? That'd be more along the lines of alchemy, but maybe it ties in somehow. I'm not sure. You go play it.
I was trying to think of a way to be like, oh, horticulture? Is that like when you dress up your lady in Stellar Blade and like no clothes? It was a bad joke. I didn't even get that. Then dropping into the news. I don't know which one to start with, so I'm going to start with the one that I think was probably first, which is Nintendo had a direct all about Kirby Air Riders, the new hot game. And I will say, Eric and I talked about this off air a bunch. This game's not for me, but I liked this direct. I didn't watch all of it. I watched like the first 30 minutes and then kind of skipped around the end. But I liked the feeling of Sakurai here, kind of describing it. It felt like, Eric said it kind of felt weird to him, but it felt to me like it was geared towards like Japanese kids, because it felt like cool uncle teaching the kids how to play his cool game. So I like the feel of it, and I like the idea of this game where the different characters have different abilities, the different machines you ride have different abilities, but those also sync together. So when Kirby rides this machine, it looks a little different, it acts a little different, handles a little different from when King DDD rides it. I don't know, there was all kinds of cool stuff in this game, like cool ideas and cool things, and seeing all the different machines and all the different riders. I was like, yeah, that's neat. And then Sakurai went, here, I'm going to show you a lap in my game and show you all the mechanics. And then I was just dazzled by colors and movement and machines and walls and bangs and splashes and sparkles. And I couldn't make heads or tails of it. And I don't mean that literally, because I'm not an idiot. But I was just like, this is too fast, and there's too much stuff going on. There's too much sound. There's too much noise. There's too much color. There's too many things. I could never play this game. But at the same time, I appreciated, here's a new weird thing. They had a Kirby's Air Ride before, but it's a new thing. It's a weird thing. I appreciated his passion for it, but this definitely isn't for me.
Yeah, I was just saying that was strange in the sense that he does what he does with Smash Bros. And he kind of creates his own terms and his own lore and knowledge base of this title that doesn't necessarily need you to do all that with, but he does it anyway. And so that's the part that's just strange to me. You're putting all this weird words and weird things on, you could just call them, vehicles. You could just say they're racers. But he refuses to, and he gets real deep into like, he specifically tells you these are not racers. They are blah, blah, blah. They are not vehicles. They are blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, they are. Let's just skip that part. Come on, buddy. Keep going. But I like him anyway. I love how he's very in depth on everything and how it all works. And of course, this time around, what's neat is you get 16 playable characters, whereas last time he even says it, you were just Kirby. This time you're 16 different characters, and they all got their own stats. And of course, the vehicles, or whatever you call them, are all different as well, just like you pointed out. So, and then not only that, depending on who's riding it, depends on what stats are. That's crazy cool to me. And he kept the game simple too. Well, the original was all one button, and this time he's like, I lament that I added another button. Now there's another button. I'm sorry, everybody. There's more than one now. There's 2. One's a special, one's your other. So he even jokes kind of on himself about how now there's 2 buttons instead of 1 button. I like the simple controls. It allows anybody and everybody to be able to play this game.
You mentioned it, how different the machines control. And I think that was the thing for me that it kind of took it to a next level, but it's already too far for me. But seeing some of those weren't even just like you go straight and you turn, like you charge up and you do like this zigzag motion, like all kinds of crazy stuff. There's tons of crazy ideas in here. And I was watching it going, how the hell am I supposed to play that? But I also appreciate that that's in here. Like it's nuts. This is crazy.
Yeah, some were really good with the glide mechanics. Some were wheels, literal wheels, so that you had awesome maneuverability on the ground. And it all made sense because there's not just racing in this. He's got tons of different play modes. and those play modes require you to use those different machines to achieve your goals. And that's what it was all about, was just knowing what machines do what characters are best with what machines, and then what game mode you're on, and utilizing everything in unison to become the best that you can be for that particular game mode. And I think that's kind of what it was all about. And it makes sense since, once again, he tries to keep this game playable by everybody by only using like 2 buttons and, of course, the analog stick. I think that's kind of the gist of it. That's what I took from it. Like Matt said, the screens themselves, especially in the racing segments, were just packed full of color, packed full of just stuff happening, people exploding everywhere, items to grab on, baddies trying to get you. And then, of course, speaking of the baddies, every character has like their own different specialties and attacks and defenses, and they only get the one. So you got to like figure that out. But hey, not just the special one ability, Matt, because Kirby, of course, as we all know, can suck up other things and get different abilities. And he made a joke, well, that'd be unfair and totally broken if we only let Kirby do it. So all 16 players now have Kirby's ability to suck up the enemies and things on the playing fields, to then get their abilities to add to what their specialty is, to make it even more versatile and fun while you're racing and or playing in these different modes. And I thought that was neat. Like Matt said, I don't intend to get this one, but I was very vested and had a good time watching most of this particular Nintendo Direct. And I didn't think I was going to be, because it's Kirby and it was 45 minutes and I'm like, this is insane. This is crazy. I don't know what's happening.
You keep mentioning all the different characters. I love the attention to detail where, like, okay, Kirby sucks up enemies. That's his gimmick. Of course, that's what he's going to do. But there's this weird character with like a long tongue. So instead of sucking up, he like shoots his tongue out. Here's this weird chef dude riding on a cart. He like shoots out this extendo ladle thing. It's not like everybody just gets a little vortex that slurps up. Everything's unique. You can tell somebody like really built this game because they really, really loved it. I'm not going to get it, but it was a weird ride. It was a wild ride. It was a wild air ride, this whole Nintendo Direct. It was pretty cool.
It was indeed. And you know what else was cool was that Bandai Namco went ahead and finally announced that Tales of Xillia is going to be the next remastered title. And of course, it comes out this year. In fact, it's right around the corner. I think it's, I had it up here, October 31st, 2025. You're going to be able to play this on the Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. Now, when I watched the trailer, Matt, funny thing occurred to me. I did play this one. And I gave me the Sleepypoos. This is the Sleepypoos one.
Yes.
Me and Matt couldn't play this because we both fell asleep playing this one.
When it said Tales of Xillia, in my brain, I pictured the main character from Tales of Zestiria, like that brown-haired, like angel-looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I never played that one, but I played the demo and it made me fall asleep. No, this is the one I played. This is the one where I fell asleep like 3 times in one night because I was in a dungeon field and I couldn't get out because every time I fell asleep, I would have turned around 180 degrees again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was the same area for me.
So I want to get this and play this and remedy that, but I'm going to fall asleep in this chair and I'm going to end up sunken down on the floor and having a bad time. I don't know what to do.
Well, they've solved your problem, maybe. Because first off, before I forget and get off point, I thought this Tails was the one with the little blue-haired blonde boy for whatever reason. I don't know what one has a blue-haired blonde boy, but I was like, some blue-haired blonde boy was in this one. I don't remember. I don't even think I played it. And then, of course, I saw who it was, and that's how I went, oh, no, yep, I know this game. But secondly, they've got you can toggle off the baddies on the fields and stuff.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
So you can just toggle that off, get to your next destination, toggle it back on, keep going. You can go ahead and get rid of all the battles, mess with it. You can just get from point A to point B and only grind when you feel like grinding instead of just being, I'm lost in the field and the battles are bad guys everywhere. And so it's possible.
Now you told me that. Now I have to get it. Now I don't have that excuse. Damn it, Eric. Come on.
The excuse is gone. Sorry. But that's one of the cool parts about the remasters. They clean up a lot of that garbage and junk and allow you to play the game how you want to play instead of be stuck with the mechanics of old. So I don't know. This is one of those ones, Matt. I really do want to check it out in all realistic, but all right, I got Lunar I haven't finished yet. I've got Dragon Quest 3 I haven't finished yet. It's a lot of games, and I'm like, no, we're not going to do it. Wait, remember the New Year's resolution?
No, add this to the pile, Eric. Add this to the unfinished pile. Come on now.
Bad news bears. I don't want to do that, but part of me wants to. So we'll see how it goes.
And we'll also see how Gamescom Opening Night Live went. Oh my God, how'd it go? I'll just jump in with initial thoughts. I texted Eric. I watched maybe half of the pre-show, And I went, I'm sick of seeing this guy's face every year. Eric never watches the pre-show, and I'm the only one who suffers through this.
I watched it this year.
And I know, and I skipped straight to opening night live, and then I felt like Tales of Xillia, and I fell asleep because the official show had some things I liked, but I was mostly just bored. I texted Eric and said, man, I'm falling asleep over here. And he said, I've watched the pre-show and a little bit of opening night live so far. So I know you watched it. I'll go watch the pre-show. I wrote down at least 3 more things in the pre-show than I had in all of opening night live. So it was a weird show for me. Pre-show had some good stuff, some small stuff. Opening night live had a bunch of things. The one thing I will say is I appreciated in the pre-show, he had a bit, and I don't like this guy's bits ever. I never have any of these years. But his bit was 10 reasons to get excited for opening night live. And he said verbatim, because you can't just ask if the crowd is excited and expect them to clap for you. And then Jeff Keighley did that like 10
times.
Flipping times during the show.
Mhm.
Golly.
And then everybody just fake clapped for no reason. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Proving the point. I loved this dude. I loved him. I was giggling and having a chuckle at all of his little dry bits and his little, jabs here and there. And I was like, surely Matt would like this guy. Why wouldn't Matt like this guy? He's just hilarious.
He is better now than he was when this first started.
Yeah.
Because when it first started, he had like 45 minutes and like 40 of it was his bits. But it's gotten a lot better. I was so burned before and I was like, Eric's not going to watch it anyway. And then you did. And then I did.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Now, I watched it all of it, the whole kit and caboodle. But this one, there's a problem with this show. It's too much. And a lot of it was very similar. There was a lot of similar games, and I don't know what's what. And mind you, I watched this yesterday and today, so this is fresh. But I don't know what is what for half these games. So it sucks because I'm gonna miss out on a ton of stuff maybe I would have liked and talked about, just because I don't really know. But I'll tell you, to start this, to get it going, in the pre-show, I believe, and I could be wrong because, like I said, it's crazy. Valor Mortis, it was the one with Napoleon warriors, and it was just some twisted, weird crap going on, first person, and you are, like I said, some Napoleon fighter. He takes like this medicine or does this potion, and all of a sudden turns into this barbaric, nasty-looking creature from the depths of hell, and starts just slaughtering folks on the battlefield. And then all of a sudden it skips to where you're this fighter and you're using these powers to fight others. So it doesn't really explain what the story is all about per se, but I was just super intrigued by just the vibe of it, the feel of it, everything that was going on. It was different. It was fresh. It felt really cool. And then I learned it's from the studio, and I forget the name of them. The studio did, I think it's Ghost Runner.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what a weird jump from Ghost Runner to this strange first-person weird shooter / kind of gave me like a Hexen feel. So I was interested in it. This weird magic meets weaponry thing going on. So that caught my eye, and that really got me interested in following this game and seeing where it goes.
And since you mentioned Ghost Runner, I believe that was on the pre-show. Because I remember him saying, hey, it's from the team from Ghost Runner. And then I think that's one of the points where I dipped out originally. But sticking with the pre-show, got a quick one, Densha Attack, which was that cell-shaded, you're a crazy mecha racing stunt attack bus. Like you're this bus grinding on rails and doing these flips and bashing things around. It looked like Kirby's Air Riders if you slowed it down a little bit and made it cell-shaded, and I could actually parse what was happening. So I was just like, this is wacky and crazy and goofy. Who knows? I'm going to go from wacky, crazy, goofy to not that at all. Towards the tail end of the pre-show was a game called PVKK, one big long like Soviet word. First person, you're a person on this planetary cannon system. You're getting these FMV daily missions from your contact. The Separatists are sending a fleet down from orbit. You got to aim this giant planetary cannon, track it up, velocity, this, that, the other thing. And then it looked like during parts like your whole base is falling apart. So you're trying to maintain your ability to make this cannon work to fend off whatever's up there. Who knows what it is? It just looked really interesting. Gave me like a Papers, Please kind of a vibe. You're doing basic stuff, but obviously something's going on. There's going to be some weird story. The fact that you have like an FMV person giving you the missions each day kind of put another something weird's going on kind of vibe in my head, but it just looked unique. Really cool.
Well, I'll tell you what, to keep it funny for a second, another one, Matt. Road Kings, baby. Oh, yeah. You're going to be a semi-truck driver in a cool simulation game, but not just a simulation game because you're a badass road truck driver. You're going to save the day. You know what? There's a tornado down that road. Doesn't matter. I need to get my scrap to the whole place. I'm going through the tornado. And so now not only are you doing the truck simulator cool stuff, but now you're doing it through a tornado or a hurricane or goodness knows landfall. Heavy snowfall, avalanches, you name it. This game's promising that you're going to be the badass that's going to take your truck through any environment, no matter what it is. And as goofy as that is, it did go, that does seem pretty damn cool. Maybe if someone would give that to me for free, I'd play that one. So that was a fun one. And then, of course, keeping short on this other one, it was the routine.
Yes.
Looked like you're on the moon base or something weird or funky. And you're inside it, like I said, you're inside this base, and it's just weird crap going down. Something's like kind of coming after you, but is it? And there was like water movement everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just some weird, kind of dark, spooky, ooky vibes going on with this bad boy. Just piqued my interest. It was a fun, and it looked gorgeous too. That was the other part that I was like, oh man, these environments are looking really nice. I really like the way it's showcased here. That game definitely got me to want to pay attention a little bit closer to it.
That's one I almost wrote down because it gave me some Alien Isolation vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like something is after you, but is it? And they never showed like, oh, it's a weird tentacle monster coming to get you. It was all hidden behind things. The wave came, so you knew it was down there, whatever it was.
So you ran.
You ran for the ladder. Yeah. So 2 more from the pre-show for me. First one is Long Gone. This is like that pixel art zombie game. You're in the zombie apocalypse, searching through a house and stuff. And I hate zombie fiction. I hate it. But this looked silly. Like the first thing you see is him getting chomped because there's like a zombie hanging over the gate and it bites him. But then you like see all these interactions you can have with the zombie. Like he finds a gun and puts a bullet in it and he goes to shoot it and the bullet falls out and the zombie like looks down and then looks back up at him and he kind of shrugs and tries to throw the gun at her, but it misses her and she kind of looks back the other way. And it looked like a humorous take on the type of fiction I freaking hate. And then I'll just say the end of the pre-show. They showed off Swords of Legends, which looked like, and I'll say this first and then redeem it in a second, like yet another Chinese Souls-like.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that made me interested in this was you had like an artifact, and it was like, oh yeah, use the artifact for special abilities. One thing it did was like it opened up like a big umbrella over the enemy and like shot some stuff down on him. A different ability impaled the enemy on like these crisscross of spikes and held him in place. And I was like, oh man, if you have even more of cool CC effects like that in this Souls-like type of a game, that really piqued my interest.
Well, I'll give you 2. This is from the show, out of the pre-show. One's a joke, one's, of course, for realsies. Fate Trigger, man. I gotta get on board this game.
Mm-hmm.
I saw me some cool, good-looking gals, doing flips and doing all sorts of stuff, showing off all sorts of assets. Then I saw a cool cat man and a fox dude, or a cat wolf dude. He was a wolf dude. And I'm like, ooh, my furry energy's coming out here. I'm feeling good. I mean, I was having emotions for this one, and the shooting and the mechanics of it, the brisk nature of it all. That part was actually really cool. And I do love the anime look to all these games. So I was like, yeah, Fate Trigger. This will be my Zenless Zone Zero of whenever this comes out. I'm gonna play it. And it's going to draw me in for whatever reason. And then next thing you know, I'm going to have 40 hours in and go, I don't think I did anything in this game. And then I'm going to leave it and never play it again.
That's literally what I wrote down. Zenless Zone Zero Shooter. There's another game called Neverness to Everness that looked like Zenless Zone Zero also.
One of those will become that. Yeah. I have a suspicion. One of those will be that. The real one that's for sure for realsies, of course, is Cult of the Lamb, Woolhaven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. The very first big paid DLC coming. So you're getting all sorts of new stuff, new missions, new everything. I can't wait. I'm excited to get back into my little Cult of the Lamb world. I didn't get in on the smaller DLCs just because I felt I'd gotten my meat in chunks and there was nothing like huge being added. This time, whole new environments it looks like and everything. Like I said, baddies, the whole 9. So you bet your butt I'll be back in there building me into town. If I have to build a new town, new peeps, naming them all my buddies again. We're going to have all sorts of fun adventures, fighting, pooping. Now, of course, the ones I missed, there's, sex, babies, all sorts of stuff that is involved now that wasn't there when I played. So I can't wait to add all that into. Oh yeah, I can't wait for the stories of what Shay and Matt do together. You know.
I was on board with the story until you mentioned that you can make your cult members have babies together, and if nobody can see it, but I immediately put a big frown on, started shaking my head. I don't want to hear about that. You keep me. You just kill me, Eric. Just kill me right away. I'm not doing any of that. No, not with anybody. But I'll give you two. Also, one that is a diehard 100% sold, which is The Outer Worlds 2. I shouldn't even mention it
God.
just because I've been sold forever, but they showed off the companions and just, God, everybody looks so cool. The companions in the first one were amazing, so I can't wait to see what happens here. And I wrote down here, why can't I f the companions? Sigh.
Yeah, that was sad. And no, you cannot lay with them or whatever he said.
but canonically, in my head, we're married and we're going around the galaxy together, and it's going to be cool. But that game's I've been sold 1,000,000% on that game since it was announced, so no brainer for me. But the one that was not a no brainer, it was a many brainer, was Call of Duty Black Ops 7. And I don't play Call of Duties, I'm not really into them, but seeing the weird way they're taking, I think the last two Black Ops games, the previous one had some kind of like split personality, you're in your character's head type of thing. But this one was like going through different locations, different time periods, and then like hallways are twisting, like you're in some kind of weird mind palace, like some giant creature is pounding down at you. To go from Call of Duty, the hallway shooter, to whatever this is, it at least piqued my interest. You know, if it's on Game Pass, I'll probably play it and play through the campaign that way. But I don't know, something about it. I was like, I'm glad they did something weird, and they're doing weird things with Black Ops, because I like weird things. And this may be, you know, it's not going to be like Kojima weird, but it's weird for Call of Duty, which I appreciate more than just I'm running Call of Duty, man. You know what I mean?
I do, but I got beef with it. All right.
Okay.
First off, on a quick note, Outer Worlds 2, I love that they kept a bit and had the actor, what's his name, in there doing his jokes.
Yes.
I really enjoyed his part of the show as well, and amplifying and pushing it. Really cool stuff. But I started watching the Call of Duty trailer, and they were in some weird like medical looking facility, or a facility in general, wires and things hanging out, and they were like fear, control man with fear, and I'm like, is this a fear game? I love fear. I love fear. I played the hell out of those games. And I went, and it was all dark, and all of a sudden this red, and then, and I'm like, this is fear. We're playing fear. And it was Call of Duty. I was very sad. And then later on, another game, I think it was Cinder Cities, something like that. Cinder City. I think it's one of them Korean games. But it did the same exact thing. Had this crap coming up, this weird vibe going. I'm like, this looks like fear too. Is this fear? So I'm like that baby bird. Are you my mama? Are you my mama? Just go around praying fear was coming out, but it was not. So yeah, it did look neat, but I'm not a Call of Duty guy, so, and I was very sad about the fear part. For me though, there's two no-brainers here, Matt. Two no-brainers. One, Silent Hill F had another trailer here. And the only reason I mention this is because it was completely different from its aforementioned trailers. This one was really showcasing like you having interactions with people and entities in the game, whereas before it was mostly just environmental stuff and the monsters coming out and the landscape changing to its usual Silent Hill like grotesque strangeness. This one got you like talking to people and then having questions asked of you, and was getting into the mental scape of what this game's going to be about. So I really enjoyed them changing what it was all about and giving you a whole another, slice of life on Silent Hill. And it got me stoked, ready to go, rocking and rolling for some more Silent Hill, which comes out at the end of the September. So it's right around the damn corner. Then of course, Kronos, the man, he came out, the travelers, they're out there, whatever it was called. I was sad. I was like, why didn't you do more?
Yeah.
Just stood there, pull his gun up, pull his gun down, clenched his fist a couple times. Or her, whoever's in the suit, because in the game, it's a female. So I don't know if the suit actually had a female or male, and it doesn't matter. But anyways, wanted to see them do a little bit more. I thought maybe they'd walk around a little bit, do something, but they didn't. But either way, the trailer was also very, very cool and gave you kind of another angle on these people. This is before it seems like they're kind of a non-entity almost, but now you have them petting the cat and, oh, are you going to defend me? Blah, blah, blah. And then, traversing and kind of learning that, hey, other things might actually be able to help you in this world that you're going to be in, or worlds, I should say. So that was really neat, really cool. Really enjoyed both of those. Got me stoked for the games, for sure.
I think there's only 2 left for me. I do have some scragglers I could talk about on the pre-show, but the 2 last main show pieces were Unbeatable, which I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, Unbeatable. I've seen this a million times because it's been shown off. I think it had a demo not too long ago on like a Steam Next Fest, but it finally has a release date of November 6th. That's that wacky, like Fooly Cooly looking style, like colorful manga, but it's all rhythm. Like everything you do is rhythm based. Like you do a rhythm mini game to interact with this and that and the other thing. I've been looking forward to it forever, but I feel like I've seen it forever. So I'm almost like burned out on seeing it before it's even out. Eric knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then right towards the end, they showed off some Ghost of Yotei, but not much. I was already falling asleep at that point. And then they got to the end of the Ghost of Yotei thing, and a bunch of creepy little red things came out, and a Torii Gate was there, and like, oh man, here's a samurai dude. And I started rubbing my hands together like we talked about on the State of Play, and I went, flip yeah, Legends is coming. Legends is coming in 2026. And I got fucking pissed again. Like, come on, you can't launch with that? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was sad too, man. I really wanted to see that one coming out this year. That's okay. I can wait. I'll be a patient little cookie and we'll get there and we'll be playing our little instruments, running around circles, having a blast again. It's bound to happen.
I will still 100% complete the base game, maybe twice over like I did last time. So I will still enjoy what's there. But man, I just want that to start with. I want to go play it for most of the night, and then you text me and go get on Legends around launch time. And me just pop straight over to Legends, be like, dude, what part have you gotten to? Oh man, I went up this mountain and it was really cool. And you go, I went to the 8th place, but we can't do that. We can't do that.
No, unfortunately, this time we can't. But that's okay. And then, I don't know if you've got more, Matt, but I've got just a small little bit. That's the Wild Hunts, Monster Hunter Wilds. Did the Chocobo thing. So I'm like, yeah, of course I got to get my Chocobo. It's not a big deal, nothing horrendous. But it's still cool nonetheless. And then, of course, World of Warcraft, Midnight. They came out with the cinematic trailer for this. Let me tell you, man. A couple things. That lady, God, she is the wrong person. They need to have the dude out. The dude brings the energy. She, unfortunately, just doesn't bring the energy. Surely probably a nice person, I don't know, but just not with it, not bringing the hype for World of Warcraft. And secondly, the cinematic, while it was well put together and gorgeous, also very boring. Like, this is the first cinematic of them I've ever watched where I was like, I don't know. And it might just be that I'm not invested. I have no idea what the hell's going on in World of Warcraft anymore. I have no idea why the Blood Elves are being screwed over, who that Dark Elf, whoever that was. I don't know who any of these people are. So maybe it's just that. So I was hoping to see something that was going to get me like, oh yeah, I don't care. I'm back in it. I went, I have no idea what's happening. Okay, I should probably catch up, but that seems very insurmountable and not, possible right now. So there you go. That was the whole damn show for me.
I love that we both ended on, I'm pissed and you're unimpressed. Great job opening night live. Like we said in the intro, there were a million different games in here, like Lords of the Fallen 2, all kinds of other stuff. But for me, nothing stood out. For Eric, a bunch of stuff blended together. I'm sure we're missing out on a lot. So definitely tell us
tons.
What the cool things were that you were hyped about. And definitely tell us the answer to Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner for this week. If you remember last week, the very obvious question was, what is the name of the cloud gaming service launched by Google in November 2019? That, of course, is Stadia. So the question for this week, in Conker's Bad Fur Day, what is the name of Conker's girlfriend?
Oh, this is brutal, man. I should know this. I've played and beaten Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I didn't even say anything this week. I didn't say a word.
I know.
I didn't say that Eric should get this.
But I'm going to be guessing 100% because I'm drawing a complete and utter blank. I can't even tell you what the flower's name was anymore. That was iconic, Matt. Can I say it was Scarlet?
Incorrect.
Yeah, damn it, man.
So if you know the answer to that question, or if you have any questions for us, comments, concerns, mailbag questions, any kind of feedback at all, more things from Opening Night Live, if you are hyped for Kirby's Air Riders and you can't wait to be riding a machine as a rider, let us know that or anything else at all via the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine at ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Hit the Discord, hit the Patreon. If I'm streaming, hit up a stream. If I'm not streaming, hit up my house and say, dude, you should be streaming. I'll go, I don't, man, my uncle and cousin are in town. I got to meet him for dinner tonight. And also there's a pay-per-view today. What do you want from me? And you'll go, why am I even here? What am I doing? And I'll go, I don't know. Go home. Get away from me.
Get on out of here. Get on out of here. That's what you can do. Or you could head over to Patreon, throw us a tip jar. Hear that? You hear that microwave in the background? You hear that jangling? That's us scrounging. We ain't got nothing left. We need the Patreon bucks to help us out in that tip jar. Need the help. Please. I'm tired of eating cheap popcorn from my meals. I can't do it anymore. Help Matt, help me. But if you can't, that's fine too. You know what else you can do? You can head on over to Spotify and give us 5-star reviews. Over to the Apple Podcasts, give us 5-star reviews. You can go to Discord, join up and have some fun conversations in there, or throw some mailbag questions our way. All these things help us out, and we appreciate the hell out of it.
And we appreciate you listening to the very next episode, which will be dropping on around the 28th of August on iTunes and Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out. We really do appreciate it.
Indeed, we do appreciate it. 5-star reviews, it's a thing. I think I was threatening people again or somebody last time. I don't remember. I was doing something like that. Just, come on, people. Think about it. Just think about it. All right? Maybe get us some popcorn. Get some popcorn this weekend. Go to that Regal Theater. Get that new Pepsi. And really do it upright. And then give us a 5-star rating when you're done. Thanks a lot, everybody.
And with that, there's nothing else to say but...
Don't
forget to say...
Shut up and sit down.